girl P.O.C. You gotta get up anyway, so why not get up with Meet Your Girl P.O.C. each and every morning, starting at 7 a.m., getting this good morning mix. Revive is alive, Revive is alive, ReviveIsAlive.com.
You are listening to Revive Radio. The views and opinions expressed on Revive Radio does not necessarily reflect ownership, management, and advertisers of Revive Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You already know what time it is. ReviveIsAlive.com. Once again, ReviveIsAlive.com. Tune in. Revive is alive. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! Proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Yep. You already know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C., host of Revive Radio, man. We are back live on ReviveIsAlive.com. Once again, that is ReviveIsAlive.com, because you got to get up anyway, so why not get up with Meet Your Girl P.O.C., man, each and every morning, starting at 7 a.m., getting this good morning mix. You already know today is a winning Wednesday, so guess who we got on the ones and twos? My God, DJ Shango.
Peace.
What it do, baby? How you feeling?
Feeling good.
I'm feeling great, man. Being back in the city.
Always.
Yes, man. I've been traveling all week. We just came back from Atlanta yesterday, so to be back in Philly was, a blessing, because I couldn't wait to get in my own bed. I was like, God damn, Airbnbs be the move, you know what I'm saying? But when it's time to go back, it's time to go back. But how was the weekend here in Philly? I know you were busy doing a lot of different things.
Yes. Well, I went to the beach, finally.
Blessings to you.
Some beach life,
Shout out to the weekend.
What else? There's been so much going on. I can't even fathom what.
Well, you got great news for the people, at least. You know what I'm saying? Next week you on a move.
Yes, next week I'll be going to California.
Yes.
So whoever's out in Cali, just hit me up, man.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be out there.
The West Coast, man, I'm trying to tell you, might not be the best coast, but it's definitely a move. If you haven't been to the West Coast, I would definitely encourage you all to go to the West Coast, man. And this weekend was Memorial Day weekend. I'm not sure. So you celebrated it by going to the beach?
Yes. We had High Life this weekend with Little Dave and Venus 7.
That's what I was talking about. I knew you was moving this weekend.
Yeah, at Chatty Thai
How was
restaurant.
That?
Yes, it was so amazing.
Yes.
So many people came from the fireworks and walked to 12th and Walnut to party. So we had at least 200 people there.
That's lit, man. Shout out to High Life. And this is something that you're doing every month?
Every fourth Saturday of the month, yes.
Pull up,
12th and Walnut, $5 to get in. Just it's a vibe, man.
It's a vibe, man. And a bunch of energy, a ton of energy. You already know what time it is. And we got a special guest in the building as well, man. I'm really excited to be sitting next to her because she's doing something that a lot of people, in her situation wouldn't do. They wouldn't be inspired to just jump back out there and create a platform, not just for herself, but for other millennial moms as well. And then also putting a platform out there for their kids, too, all at the same time. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
Yes. So my name is Antonia. I'm a podcast host as well as a mobile app creator. I created those two platforms for moms. The podcast more so to bring in, to kind of have those conversations that moms probably feel like they're either alone on or, that you probably think it but don't want to really talk about it. And then also the app just to kind of bring everything together for that safe space still, and for moms to honestly to either promote themselves, build their tribes, and just come together and share our own knowledge and our own resources on how to help each other do what we want to do and get there.
That's big. And one word that you just said was tribe, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that Shango is really big on, you know what I mean? Building a tribe, And when you say, build a tribe, what does a tribe actually look like for moms?
Honestly, a group of women that you could call on, whether it be, hey, could you watch the kids for me? Or, hey, I just need to vent really quick. Or, hey, can we go out? Like, I need a moment. And everything. Just, ones that will be there for you genuinely, not just because, I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah, just to be there.
I definitely feel you because, moms sometimes feel like they're by themselves and they get tired of talking to their 7-year-olds. They want to talk to somebody their age. Yes. So I definitely understand. I'm not a mom yet, but I definitely understand because I have friends who feel the same way. Basically what you just said. So let me ask you this before we get into the interview. So about a week and a half ago, Alabama just, pushed this and passed this bill, the abortion bill, which is actually taking the rights away from women. You know what I mean? To do what they please with their own bodies. And before we get started, I want to know your opinion about that.
I'm not for it.
Okay.
But I think I'm not for it, but I'm just more so like, I think I'm looking more outside of the whole abortion part of it and more so, why are you trying to like dictate what I can do as a woman with my body? You guys have already like taken away so much more from us as far as like our different pay grades versus men's or, some of the rights or the laws that we already don't have as women. Now you want to tell us what to do with our
body,
our vaginas.
Yeah, okay, say it. She said it. I said it. I'm not playing.
So it's like, just leave us alone. Let us do what we want to do. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have something to say. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, you could be this bomb ass mom, and then someone still has something to say about you.
Exactly.
Or this woman in general.
And then what really caught my attention and messed me up was the fact of the numbers. You know what I mean? Numbers don't lie. So it was about 26 or 27 white men, and then one white woman who's the age. She's 74 or 75, something like that. I can't remember. She's 74 or 75. And she's no longer able to even make babies. You know what I mean? And those 26 men are not even able to make babies. You know what I'm saying? They can produce babies, but they can't make babies. So with that being said, it's like, sitting in a room with, those 27 and 28 people and them making the decision for, millennial moms, they're making a decision for, generation that comes behind us and different things like that. It's like, what do we say to them? As a mom yourself, like, what would you say to them if you had the opportunity of speaking to either one of them?
That's a good question. Like, I don't know what I would say, but I think all I could do is probably reference back. Have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale?
Okay.
So if not, watch that. But it's literally
The Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, they really take away the rights of women, and all they could do is bear children. Like, that's their only job. That's their only thing.
Wow.
But it's like, it was by rape. So they had to literally have the kids regardless.
No matter what.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, think about your own daughters. Think about your own sisters, moms, all that. Like, why would that even make sense?
And the crazy part is, I'm a conspiracy theorist at that time, right? And this is the conspiracy that I came up with. Actually doing my research and different things like that, they pretty much were saying that the white population is starting to fade away. And they want to keep, the percentage of white people on this earth, and they want it to be higher amongst other ethnicities. And for real, and abortions at this time is higher with white women than any other race.
Wow.
So they're saying, in order to stop, white women from going to get all of these abortions and keeping the numbers down, they're going to create a law and just make it universal so no one is able to get an abortion. And that will keep the white race populating all at the same time.
It seems like the Caucasian is really loving our culture. So the reason why they're probably having abortions.
See, y'all adding on to the conspiracy. That wasn't my conspiracy. All right, they adding on to it.
Yep. We got a whole lot of interracial babies.
Especially and I definitely agree with but I agree with you because one, you got to think about it too. It's gentrification in most of these urban cities, right? And we're not going anywhere. We're still on our blocks. We're still on our corners, and y'all just walking past, walking your dogs and doing stuff. So we saying what's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we never know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think this is just my conspiracy. You can challenge me if you want to. Yes, I'm just saying they want to make sure that their population stay, populating, and they have the higher percentage of people on this earth.
I feel like that's not gonna work because the Caucasian, we like to, intertwine, and I go down south. Even Virginia, it's way more interracial relationships, and I'm just like, how y'all gonna do that? Yeah.
Pids coming home, right?
Right.
they don't even know what to say. So this is Antoine, mom, and we're having little Demetrius, and they be pissed off. They don't know what to say. But man, yes, definitely. Yeah. So let me get back into everything that you guys are doing with Mommy Matters, right? Mm-hmm. So when did the birth of Mommy Matters actually start?
So it started back in June of 2017. So we're coming up on our 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's definitely been like growth and like a whole new different comfort zone, or not even a comfort zone, just experience in general. Because
okay. And then for just like the 2 year stretch, what would you say, you know what I mean, like what was overall the biggest thing that you would say you accomplished over this 2 year stretch?
For me personally, was getting out of my comfort zone. I like to think or sometimes say that I'm an introvert, but I kind of am not trying to believe it because I do have moments where, you know, I'll be shy or reserved. But honestly, I love meeting new people, and I love like just connecting with different people, regardless of who you are, where you are. So I think that just stepping out and doing a lot of things that I never thought I would do, like this. Like I took a whole trip to Philly to come sit down and talk to you.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, so things like that.
I'm with it. And so also when it comes to Mommy Matters, you know, that's a really big responsibility in general, because you're also allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to actually be transparent to other mommies' issues when you have your own mommy issues. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to having those transparent conversations, are you putting more of original content, you know, as far as like the things that you went through, the things that you dealt with by raising your two, you know, handsome sons, or would it be things that you have read, things that you have learned, or, you know, maybe while traveling and doing your research?
It's honestly me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say just things that I've personally gone through, because I mean, my kid's father and I we're not together, but we co-parent.
Okay.
And that itself has been a big learning experience as far as like, you know, staying consistent with communicating with each other and just making sure that we're both on the same page as far as like raising our kids.
Okay.
So that I share and I talk about more so on the app, and but just like different things that I've experienced in motherhood.
Well, let me ask you just about co-parenting in general. So when people use the word co-parenting, can you define that for us? Because people define it in different ways.
Okay.
So how would you define it?
I would say two parents living separate, taking care of their kids. I would say providing equally for their kids and being able to communicate regardless of what your situation may be.
Okay.
Because it's no longer about me and you. It's more so now about the kids.
Okay.
And, you know, the well-being of them.
So then what about when you have two parents who are doing the child support thing? Is that considered co-parenting?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So co-parenting can be, you know, people who make an agreement to say, I'm just going to pay this amount a month, this month, and well, each month, and this is just what it's going to be. And then also co-parenting can be people who actually go into court, put the system into their business, and then, you know, legally say you have to pay this much and you have to do this for your kids. Is that still co-parenting? Because I be trying to have that understanding.
Tough. I think that's tough because I feel like, yes, you can still co-parent and get child support. I think co-parenting is just more so the communication and your ability to like get along with each other.
Okay.
And provide for the kids.
So it has nothing to do with how you co-parent. Like, because some people...
Like, if there's a child support and no child support thing in there, I don't think so. I just think it's honestly the relationship that you have that you both want to, you know, take care and be there for your children.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. Like, what about for the people who only pay child support but don't do any visitation? Like, don't visit, don't do anything. So what is that considered?
That's single parenting.
That's single parenting.
So if it's the mom who's getting the child support, you know, and, you know, taking care of the kids, just using that money solely for, you know, what they have to do for the kids, that's not co-parenting. I don't think that's co-parenting.
I'm asking. So
yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, so when it comes down to, you know, being a mom, and of course, you know, people want to start family. So of course, the first, you know, idea is not to say, okay, let's do this co-parenting thing or just do the child support thing. Let's actually try to stay together and work as a family. But so for moms who are not able, or dads who are not able to stay with their significant other who they created this beautiful child with, should they have the conversation of saying let's co-parent even if they're not able to get along? Because, you know, once people break up, they're not able to even get along.
Well, that's how it was with me and my ex. Like, it wasn't like roses and fields and coffee and stuff. It was not bright at all. It was a lot of arguing. It was a lot of like getting to really figure out, okay, we're done, so let's really focus on the kids. And it wasn't easy. It was not. It took years. It's been about 10 years. So it's like, I can't even put a number to when it started to really get like, hey, we're really communicating. Hey, we're really doing this solely for them. So yeah, it's always a learning experience. It's never gonna be the same. You're gonna keep.
You're gonna have to grow through that experience.
New challenges.
I always say new levels, new devils. And Shango, I want to ask you, from a man perspective, when it comes down to co-parenting, what is your ideas? What is your thoughts? What would you define it to be?
Well, to be a father of twins, a boy and a girl,
shout out to the twins.
We are. I'm gonna be honest. Me and the mother of my children we're going through a lot. It takes a lot of vulnerability and detachment of what our expectations of how the other parents should raise the child.
Okay.
So it's like, I have my veganism and I have my awareness of self and self-love, and the other person doesn't really even understand that point of view. So it's like, when they're with the parent, then that's their time, that's their space. You have no control over it. And when I have them, it's all me. Yeah. And I feel like it actually helps a lot because it gives the child two different options or opinions, or however you want to, any perspective. They have choices. Just that's what matters, is to show them like, it's not just one choice. It's not just this matrix life that that we're trapped in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very difficult though. We've been at it for like, this transition that we have, me and my mother and my children have been having, like we've been in it for 5 years and it's still rocky.
Yes.
It's still,
I agree.
Especially holidays. I don't even believe in half of the holidays. Okay.
And I think you said something really important. It's definitely choices, and like I can't control. Excuse me. I can't control what they do in his house. I can only control what I do and what I teach them, and the things that we do at my house. But as long as I feel like we can almost like say, okay, this is what, like you said, the expectations, this is what we can and cannot do. And I feel like they're mutual in a sense because, you had to start off together at one point, and you guys clearly, or we all had something in common.
So let me ask you guys this question. So do you go and deprogram the child at that point? So when they say, well, I just at my daddy's house and I would like to do this here too as well.
We have a conversation. That's at dad's house. This is mom's house.
So don't deprogram them.
No, don't deprogram them.
No, they know that I don't eat meat.
Oh yeah.
So they come to the house, but they know like the Chipotle burgers and stuff is really good. Yeah. So I'm like, there's options. That's all that matters. If they want the meat, then I can't like fight them on it.
Yeah. Okay. That's literally what we do at my house because I don't eat meat either, and they both know, and they're like, oh, so I'll make a meal for myself and think no one's gonna eat it. Then meanwhile, they're eating all my like vegan food.
Exactly.
At their dad's house, they'll eat all the chicken and whatever they want to eat, but at the same time,
So let me ask you this question too as well. So what do you do when you have moms who come to you and ask you questions like that, as far as they're doing certain things at their dad's house that you or them do not want to do at their house? I'm sorry. So how do you explain that? Do you tell them exactly how you go about the situation, or do you tell them to do something different based on their circumstances?
I definitely will give my own personal experience, but then I never want to influence anybody to do something that's against what they will do,
Okay.
So it's like, I want you to analyze that situation for yourself and your morals and what you believe in. But hey, this is how I approach that situation. So here's some ideas. This doesn't mean go and implement them and think they're going to work because it worked for me. Because what works for me may not work for you.
Facts.
So
that's big, right?
Yeah.
There.
So
thank you for that piece of advice. Because some people think, just because you did it, I can do it
too. Sometimes, but not always. Like not the same steps, So it's like definitely talk about it. Like I feel like it's just a big ball of communication that you just gotta talk about.
Yes.
Like be open, transparent, get mad, have those feelings, but at least you got it out, you know? But at the end of the day, do what works for you.
Facts. And what are some of the things that you talk about on your podcast? Like, what is like one of the conversation starters that people just would not let die?
That's a good one. I don't know, because I feel like we talk about so much.
So what do you guys talk about?
We talk about everything. We can go anywhere from talking about our vaginas and learning the parts of them. We could go from, you know, talking about our conversations about having like the sex talk with our kids, and, you know, their body parts and consent and things like that. Or we could go from talking about our own relationships, dating and the expectations in marriage and in a relationship. Yeah, like.
So what about the sex talk? Because that's something that, you know, I always bring up, because we have conversations parties, you know, at Revive Radio. And one thing I always like to ask is, did you have the birds and the bees talk? That was something that I never got. Yeah. Still at the age of 27, my mom still doesn't talk about sex with me. She still doesn't know if I'm a virgin or not, because she never asked. You know what I mean? I'm not just about to come out and be like, Mom, so this is what I'm doing lately. So with that being said, you know, what is a great age to pop out and be like, okay, so this is this and this is that?
Okay, so honestly, we all sat down as a group of moms and came together and talked about it, and we kind of all agreed that it starts young. Like the birds and the bees, we don't save that one conversation to then dump it on them.
Facts.
It starts at, you know, just identifying your body parts. Like, okay, you have this thing between your legs that's different from mommy's, you know, type talk.
Oh, because you have two boys.
Yeah, I have two boys. So it's like, you know, we've had a conversation where the boys thought, you know, women peed from their butts. And then I'm like, no, we just sit down, but there's a whole different body part that we got to use. Yeah.
That's a whole boy kind of question.
So it's like just having those conversations and making them aware of the different, like, things, body parts, and why we're different. And then as they grow, the conversations get a little bit more deeper, because I just had to ask my 10-year-old, because he's like into girls and things, and I'm like, well, have you ever thought about having sex? He's like, ew, no. And I'm like, okay, will you tell me when you want to know, because, or when you would like to have sex, because we need to talk about a lot of stuff about, you know, how to protect yourself and how. And now the newer part that just got added on is consent, because now we want to make sure that it's not just you that wants it, it's the girl that wants it, and what yes really means and what no really means.
Exactly.
So it's like the conversation just keeps going.
Even body language. Because even though, you know, some women may say yes, their body is saying absolutely no.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you on that. And what about you, Shango? You know, by you having a boy and a girl, you know what I mean? How do you come at that birds and the bees conversation?
How I have been going. You know, I just noticed that the boys and girls, they mature very differently. So, you know, my girl, she's very mature, and my son, he still has that consciousness of just like, I love everyone. Aww. I'm gonna hug everybody and not care who if they are having what they look like, you know. And so I don't want them to grow up. I'm just sort of put that out there right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know, so it's see how I grew up. My mom was like, I know you're having sex already, so as long as you just make sure you're protected. I was like, oh.
That was your birds and the bees talk?
Yep.
I never had one.
I never had one. With my dad or my mom, I never had one. Nice. Did you have one with your dad too? Just your mom?
Nah, just my father passed away.
Okay, I apologize.
So, you know.
Yes, that's wild. I never had one with either parent.
And I did have my uncle, though.
Okay, and he had the conversation?
Well, he showed me a lot of things.
Okay.
How to do, what to do,
show
what
you
not
better
to
than
do.
me can tell you.
Right.
So let me ask you this, though, because one thing that I see is that conversations about, you know, sexual education is different amongst genders, you know what I mean? Because with a boy, the conversation may be super aggressive, but, you know, sometimes with a girl, it may be like lax, laid back, you know, very educational, where you pull out a book and pictures and all of these things. But with a boy, it's just like, put the condom on and make it happen and don't bring no babies home. But with the girl, it's like, I will kick you the hell out, don't bring no babies
and I don't agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like the conversation, man, what? I could, in a million years, I would never be able to bring a baby home. But if I'm not saying like if my brother would, but if my brother would, it wouldn't be as they wouldn't torment him as much as they would me and my sister.
No, I agree. That's how it's been. But I believe in just doing it the same way for girls and boys.
Yes.
And my friend she'll say like, well, it's a girl, like, we can't have her out here. I said, and we can't have our boys out here either.
Can I say something about that? I actually totally agree with that. That's the problem we're having now with the adults, with the consent and everything. Like, men aren't brave enough to talk about what that happened to him, and then women are very openly to talk about what happened to them, but not getting anywhere with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. And I recently, DJing, and the women that talk to me, that come up and talk to me, I knew this person for a while already, but I was having this conversation with her, and everyone knows that I'm a polygamist, and she was expressing to me that she's trying to do that in her relationships and stuff, but how she was expressing herself to me was touching me and all over me. Her whole body language was like she wants me, but I know she doesn't want me. But like, it's all about discernment and how you take that. Because if it was another guy, he would probably been like all over that and probably take advantage of that opportunity. When that woman's being vulnerable, because her body language is like faced all the way towards me. You know what I mean?
That is big.
Hands on me and stuff. Like,
that is big because a lot of women don't understand that we can be sexual abusers as well. We can be sexual predators as well. And we have to watch our mouths too. We can't be like, yo, nice pecs. We can't be like, yo, I see what you're jingling and you're dingling. You can't be, because as they running, you know what I'm saying? We get to talking all out. We are doing the same thing when we do that. Just like if they come out the bathroom or something and they have their shirt off, we go up and touch them physically. That is sexual abuse. It really is.
It is. The hair,
touching of the hair, all of that. And what would you say to men, in that situation that they need to speak up to? Like, what would you say to them?
Tell us how you feel. Like, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Like, let us know if you felt uncomfortable. It's not like nothing's wrong with you if you felt uncomfortable in that moment.
It comes down to how we were raised and how we were brought up, and it was like, oh, if you do that you're corny, or you weak. You can't handle that. You can't handle that.
Or you're supposed to hop on that. What you mean? No, I felt uncomfortable. Like, just say it. Yeah.
It's just how we gonna raise these babies now.
And that's the trick though. It's like, you have to have those conversations. The trick is just simply opening your mouth. It's not magical at all. It's just simply saying like, this is what it's supposed to be and this is what it's not supposed to be. But the crazy part, there's no such thing as a new norm anymore because normal changes every 24 hours. Whatever you depict normal to be is what normal is going to be. But we're about to go to a quick break. Right after this quick break, we're going to have more with our special guest, Antonia, man. Mommies matter. Shout out to all my millennial moms out there, man, who's still making it work, who's still dream chasing and following their goals and following their hearts, as well as just keeping the babies beside them, bringing them to the conferences, bringing them to the events. Like, that's what it's all about, man. Show better than you can tell, and that's what it's all about, because those babies can also help you and your businesses and so much more. You already know what time it is. Yo, DJ Shango, you ready? Let's get it. Recognition.
What's up? It's your boy Up All Night Shit, man. We live at Revive Radio, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday through Friday. Keep that shit locked, heavy.
Trying to walk, I'm floating. I thought I knew everything I knew, but what's that? That's when I heard intuition, a beautiful voice within say, baby girl, they don't tend, but you know I do. I'm here to say, whatever you be going through, take time to peep in solitude and bloom. It's you. Bet you can do it, keep your honor through the testing. When you need to take your resting, go and count those blessings. No second guessing, that's grace's gift. Water them seeds, they'll sprout up to be all that you need. Water them seeds, they'll sprout up, sure seen. Plants turn to trees. Beautiful flowers, beautiful flowers. Water them seeds, they'll sprout up, sure seen. Plants turn to trees, you'll see it bloom. Water them seeds, they'll sprout up to be all that you need. You'll see it bloom. My dear, make room, stay aware, stay in tune. When you get hit up with them lessons, you receive, accept, and get the stepping. Yeah. Quick finesse, then be back at your best. Cause yeah, it burned, but look what we learned. Each and every one of us now, like, yeah, yo, fuck the rest. Let me focus and do my best. No more distractions, gratitude is satisfaction. Time is on my side, I give thanks when I rise. Do better than the day before, release, stay open to explore the wisdom, implementing the aim. Grace is a gift that has taught me in her favor. Surrounded by lilies and lavender and bamboo trees, I recognize my moments now than later, cause all aligned is much greater. Gotta get my coins up, gotta make my mama proud. Wanna get some new jeans, going downtown for a while. Visioning falafel with tahini and avocado. Then it's you arriving to scoop me up, hopped into it, melons in my cup. Go, I feel it slow, trip it up so we back. She moving so fast, Ascension had us on blast. The most important thing, if any, I've learned in my teen years is simply drink more water and keep your thoughts clear. I found it hella liberating to motivate myself and break all barriers I had created. Embrace that you can't waste, build up on all that. Hey young girl, you're amazing, and yes dude, you're amazing too. Won't deny the truth, I wanna hear the youth laugh, cause they hold the proof that here lays our greatest blooms. Water them seeds, water them seeds, water them seeds, they'll sprout up to be all that you need. You'll see it bloom, 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 bada balloon, balloon, boom, bloom. You'll see it bloom. Water them seeds, that's grace's gift.
Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey, it's your girl P.O.C. Hey, proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is? Open up your ears. You know what time it is? Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive.
Yep. You already know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C, host of Revive Radio. We are back live on ReviveIsAlive.com, man. Once again, that is ReviveIsAlive.com. Each and every morning, you got to get up anyway, so why not get it with Meet Your Girl P.O.C, man? Shout out to everybody who's tuning in right now. Don't forget, you can also give us a call, 215-853-6803. Once again, that number is 215-853-6803. And shout out to the whole PQRadio1.com family for holding it down, man, each and every morning. You already know, getting this good morning mix. We got our special guest in the building, also DJ Shango. Man, I'm excited because she drove all the way up from Maryland to be sitting with us this morning, you know what I mean, to revive the airways with us here at Revive Radio. So I'm really excited to definitely have her in the building. Let's get it. We were talking about Memorial Day weekend. We were talking about cookouts and everything during a break. And all of us here, we're vegans, or, you know what I'm saying, we're just trying to watch how we eat in general. So I'm like, yo, check this out. So we at the cookout, and I'm like, I don't eat beef, I don't eat turkey burgers, I don't eat none of that. I need a veggie burger. I put the veggie burgers on the grill, and that was the last thing she wrote. Nobody else ate none of the nobody else ate none of the turkey burgers, beef burgers, or none of that. Everybody was sitting there eating the veggie burgers. Yep. So I'm like, what is it? Like, they what's the fad? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all feel about that? What were you about to say?
Yeah, I mean, I made the burgers, and everybody was like, wait, are these vegan? What kind of meat? I was like, it's not meat. I was like, it's a whole bunch of vegetables, and it looks like it. Like, it's really good. And then one of my friends was like, can I try? And then she was like, oh, that's really good. And then I think she ended up getting another one for herself, but I only made 4 because you know they're expensive. They're very expensive.
You only get 2 in a pack.
Beyond Meat.
Oh my God, those are my favorite burgers. Beyond Meat burgers are my favorite burgers. People be hating on them because they say that they don't have like actual taste or flavor to them. I'm like, y'all tripping. You gotta like season them up.
It does taste like it.
Yes. I didn't even season mine this weekend because I left the seasoning in the house and it was still bomb.
Oh man, so she's good with the stir fry. She's in the kitchen with it. Cause I gotta put a little season on that, you know, get it right, a little paprika. It's like, nah, okay. But Shango, what about you? Like when you go to cookouts, how are you running the cookout at the show? Like what you doing?
You know, I for a while I was cooking those Chipotle burgers because they're big. They're big sizes, and it has beans and vegetables already in it. So you really don't need to do anything in it, and it sticks together. A lot of vegan burgers, they'll fall apart, you know, and you know, because you can't cook them that long, but you can actually throw the Chipotle burgers on the grill and cook it like an actual
And that's how
burger.
I feel about Beyond Meat burgers. They stay together for me. They always right. Like they never failed me at all. What's your favorite brand? Let me ask you this. I'm very particular about brands too. I'm very picky. What's your favorite brands? Like, do you have a favorite?
Mine is Beyond Meat.
Well, just in general, like if you're going to get, you know, some food, you know how they have like the chickenless chicken, different things like that.
Oh, okay.
My favorite brand right now.
I don't like the Boca. I'm saying it right.
Shout out to black-owned businesses, Vegan Spice, and my tribe sis, Simha.
I'm
you know, they both make vegan options, and they are amazing at their dishes. So you know,
I don't like Morningstar. That's what I was trying to get out. I don't like Morningstar, and I don't like the Boca one.
I don't like anything that really has soy.
I like Gardein. That's one of my favorites.
Yes. So if let's say, I mean, I won't overeat soy, but I want some meatballs that day. Okay. I'll go get the meatless meatballs.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm with that. I don't do the chicken. I don't care how chickenless the chicken is. I'm not eating none of that. Yes. I don't care. It ain't supposed to be chickenless.
Exactly.
I ain't none of that. But let me ask you this though. So when it come down to moms, you know, would you suggest that moms change their diet in order to keep up with their kids? Because a lot of moms can't keep up on a soccer field, you know, when they want to play soccer, or they can't run around that track when their kids is out playing. Yeah. So would you suggest that?
Like I said, I never want to tell you to do something that you're not comfortable with doing, but I would say just manage or be more mindful about what you eat. Okay. You know? Don't try to fill up on the junk, but just make better decisions on what you do eat and what you're putting in your body.
So when it even comes, because I know we talked a little bit about this earlier from house to house, but when it comes down to just your diet in general, do you suggest putting kids on a strict diet at a young age will help because of, all the obesity, all the, fructose, what's it called? Fruit, yeah. Corn, I can't even get it out.
Fructose, corn syrup, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of that kind of stuff that's in the food nowadays. And you got to think about it. Like, I feel like they subliminally put stuff in kids' foods on purpose so it can bring them coming back and purchasing more of that product.
I agree.
So what would you say to a mom who's just starting out, who's going to buy that baby food, those smashed up carrots and peas? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say?
Again, same thing. I don't believe in a strict diet for anybody. I more so believe in a lifestyle. So if you're going to start doing something, make it a lifestyle, make it a habit, make it something that you're used to doing and want to do and enjoy doing. So when it comes to like baby food, I mean, there is the junk food of baby food as well. Make better decisions for you and your kid, because if you won't eat it, then don't give it to your kids. So a lot of the foods when my kids were babies, I would eat it first to make sure if I enjoyed it, okay, they will enjoy it. But then as I started getting older and them getting older and a lot more research, some of the things I probably shouldn't have been giving. But if I was to do it all over again, I think it would definitely be more homemade.
Okay, and then let me jump into this subject, because this is something that I wish my parents were a little bit more involved in, which was school and education. And a lot of parents are starting to be more hands-on. They're starting to go to more PTA meetings and different. Medea cracked me up, like pat that ass. You know what I'm saying? When he comes to the PTA meeting, it always stuck with me. But now coming to more PTA meetings, signing up to be a part of the school and different things like that. So when it comes to the education of a child, a lot of people are now doing charter schools. They're now doing Montessori schools because they want their child or their kids to focus in on one subject, or to also just be free while learning too at the same time. So when it comes down to education, what are your suggestions or your thoughts on that?
I am all for a good education, and like you said, even within this past year, I've found myself wanting to be more hands-on because of the same reason. Like, I didn't have my mom wasn't able to always come to the schools and do a lot of things, PTAs, field trips, things like that. So I made it a point that that's what I would be doing with my kids, volunteering, PTA and things like that. I definitely agree with, investing in our kids. So making sure that they do have the best education possible. And even if it is a public school, just be in touch with the teachers to make sure how your kid's learning, what can we both do, you as a parent, you as a teacher, to like make sure that they're getting their education.
Their education. Yeah. What about you, Shango? What do you think about that?
You really want to know?
I do.
Homeschool.
Homeschool.
Yes, because nothing is really for us, especially the melanated people. It's nothing that is out there is really for us. The schools system don't really teach us how to survive out here. They teach us how to bend over and take it. Like, for real, I can see, the bringing kids together and, so maybe homeschool for half of the week, and then the other week you interact with your fellow kids. But they don't even feed your kids. They don't even feed our kids healthy meals. Like
in the public school.
Even in all charter school or public school, it doesn't matter. Like, they're still learning. They still have the same curriculum, and curriculum is to tell you work this job for us so we could take money off of you. Have some entrepreneur classes, learn how to do your taxes. You know what I mean? Like,
that was big. Learn how to do your taxes. That's a big one.
I agree with all of it, but because I'm all for homeschooling. I have one of my friends, and she kills it. I'm like, yo, can I enroll my kids in with you? But at the same time, I feel like you have to have that time, that dedication to do it. And it could be hard, So I feel like if your kids are in, that public school or the charter schools, just try to be a little bit more hands-on. But yeah, if you can homeschool.
I would definitely say I like the homeschool idea, and then I also like, being able to be around your peers and learn and adapt to how your peers are growing as well. Because, street knowledge is one of the best knowledge, piece of information that you can grab, as a child, because you want to know the certain things about life, and it's just a bet for me personally. I just know how street knowledge helped me to grow in my lifestyle. But one thing,
that's how real. I was taught. What I mean? So
everything. You want to be able to adapt. You want to be able to read a book and then also go on the street and handle your business too. But one thing that I would say is I like trade. Like as I'm getting more into understanding how trade can actually work for a child or adolescent, I like the idea of going through maybe grade school, that K through 6th grade, and then saying, okay, so you went through the first 7 years of school. What do you actually like to do? What do you want to do? Not going to this thing called middle school and then still trying to figure out what you want to do and how you want to develop yourself as a child. Because middle school is one of the most dangerous schools ever that a child could attend, because it's like, what is it called? You got peer pressure. You're growing into the different stages of being a woman and being a child. What is it called when you are
adolescent?
No, when you're going through your stages. Puberty. Yes, you're going through peer pressure and puberty all at the same time. And in middle school, it's just like a block where you're not really developing. They're not teaching you anything. You're just going through 7th and 8th grade just to have it. And then high school is like, okay, so here's college. What do you want to do? Focus the next 4 years on what school you're going to get into, which is a lot of pressure in general. And then you want to be cute. You want to be out in the public. So like if you're actually honing in on a trade of what that child loves to do, I think that should come after 6th grade.
And I agree with you. I think it should start now, because you could start seeing what your kids love. I believe in investing in your kids.
Yes, big.
Because they are my ROI. Okay.
Return on investment. Yes.
So I mean, because my kids now, like the oldest one loves basketball. Like he could go far, but we're gonna support that any way we can. Like I was telling you earlier, the little one loves to DJ.
That's
he
big.
will DJ. So it's like we'll start, like whatever you start to show us that you have interest in, we're going to support you along the way. I no longer even say, hey, make sure you guys do good in school so that you could get a good job. Like that doesn't even come up in my house anymore.
Yes.
I'm like, you're gonna do what you want that makes you happy and start that business.
Yes.
Do it, like whatever you want to do, we're gonna support you.
Yes.
So I feel like start it early. Find out what they really like.
Do you think that adds pressure to a child though? Because when you are 7, you might love to DJ, but then when you turn 11, you want to be, the president of the United States. So by putting that pressure on them at 7, like, you love to DJ, all right, we about to sign you up for 10 DJ
let's
classes.
Not go crazy with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna support you, but like you keep me updated. Like if you love this, all right, mom, you want me to support.
Yes,
like,
because kids change their mind every 5
yeah.
seconds. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, last week you was a BMX rider. Like, come on, you said you wanted this $500 bike so you could be the next, Tony Hawk or somebody, and now you're like, no, this is not what I like to do.
Yeah, no.
So I definitely try not to put pressure on kids, but
pressure.
I really feel like finding that trade or what they actually love to do, and then also finding a skill that they can do hands-on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I know we're in a generation of technology and innovation and things like that, but I need you to learn how to do something with your hands as well. I know that you can pick up this phone, pick up this computer, and kill it. Like you can teach me something that I didn't even know the computer could do. I love that, but at the same time, like I want you to not necessarily learn how to change a tire, but that would be great for you to learn how to change a tire. Jack up a car, that would be great. Yeah. Learn how to put the gas pump in the actual car. Like, come on, man. They don't even know what a gas pump is nowadays, especially for y'all Jersey kids, because that's so spoiled.
They don't have the pump.
They're so spoiled. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, where's the pump? Where's, like, they be looking on the side of the car. Come on, man. So, just learning how to do something with their hands is something really important. But I want to get back to what you guys have, because you actually have an event coming up June 2nd, which is this Sunday. You have a brunch, Coffee with Moms. Tell us a little bit about your brunch and everything that you guys are doing this Sunday.
So, Coffee with Moms started as just a little meetup, like monthly meetup where, we can just come together, enjoy a cup of coffee, tea, whatever you want, just to get a break before you actually started your weekend. So we usually did them on Saturday mornings, like early in the morning. Come meet up before you start your busy day or busy weekend with the kids or whatever, just to like get your me time in, just in case you didn't get it throughout the week. So this time we decided to do a brunch. So it's a brunch meetup. We're meeting up at Pinstripes in DC, and we're just gonna have brunch to kick it, to get that me time in. And
what does me time look like for a full-time mom?
That's tough. I feel like whatever you can fit in, honestly, whether it be reading that good book for an hour, sitting in silence for an hour, being in the shower a little longer, I don't know, laying in bed a little longer before getting up to get the kids up for school. However, silence while driving in the car, however that looks like to you.
Okay.
But this one, you could come together with some girls, connect with new moms that you probably never met before, because I've heard that a lot of moms say it's hard to find mom friends, because usually if you're not regular, but friends without children, it's kind of tough to like either connect.
So we're like, come on, girl, start at 5. You're like, well, I'm not ready till 6 o'clock. I'm like, damn, well, I'm gone.
Right. And it's like, sometimes you just want to talk about the kid for a second, and your friend is like, okay, are you done?
Facts.
Whereas if you're with your mom friends, we're all sharing stories about how they came out of us. So yeah, it's just fun time to get together.
So it's going down June 2nd, Pinstripes in DC, Georgetown area.
Yes.
So what are the conversations? Are you like starting conversations here, or just people are coming to eat, vibe, and meet new moms?
Yep.
Awesome.
Vibe and just come chill. There's no pressure to like network or this. Literally, you could come eat, have some mimosas, chairs, and peace out if you want to. But just come and hang out. Like, yeah.
And let me ask you this, because you are in the city of DC, well, the district, let me correct myself, the district of DC. So when it comes down to the diversity there, because it's no longer Chocolate City, if we're being honest with each other. So when it comes down to the diversity there, do you see a lot of diversity amongst, your peers when you are talking to a bunch of moms? Like, do you see yourself still talking to people that look like you, or is it now starting to become a little bit more diverse?
It's becoming a little bit more diverse. I won't say a whole lot. But I could see, like, when we do, like, our give backs to the shelters and things, I'm meeting different moms and new people all the time. So it's definitely not just one set of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you say your give backs, talk a little bit about that. We didn't get into the give backs. How was that?
So if I could give everything that I have, I will. So what we do, about once every month, we will go to a women's shelter and we will make them a meal. All of us would either buy a meal or buy a dish or make a dish, take it to them and spend some time with them over some good food and conversation, and they love it.
Awesome.
Or we'll go out in DC in Franklin Square with one of the nonprofits that we work with, distant relatives, and serve the community there. So any way we could give back
to the community. That's one of the biggest things. We got to put that unity back in community. That's one thing that we pride ourselves on here at Revive Radio. But I got to ask you these questions, because this is something that has like extremely irritated me at this point. These damn gender reveal parties. Where did they come from? Who created that stuff? I'm about to say shit real fast. Who created that stuff? Like, why is that a thing? Why is that a fad? Why are we spending money on gender reveal parties? What the hell is a gender reveal party? Come on, you've been around a lot of moms. You gotta tell me, why are they doing these gender reveal parties?
I don't know where. I think it's just a fun thing. Like, I'm not gonna do it.
Oh my god! Like, what's the point behind it?
I don't know.
It's for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's for everyone else that is around in your circle.
But they spend so much money. I mean, so much money on just a piece of paper that the doctor gives you for free. It's part of it.
And then on top of that, have a baby shower. Yeah. So I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh wait, that's two different
things. That's what I'm saying. I really and I'm one of those people like, I love you, but I'm not coming to that. I will be at your baby shower, but I'm not coming to your gender reveal. And I still love you, and I love your child. I can't wait to figure out if it's going to be a boy or a girl. But that's just not something that I'm going to bring a gift to. That's not something I'm going to donate my time to. I'm not about to register to the registry just for a reveal party. It just doesn't make sense. A gender reveal party is pretty much millennials coming together and showing, how excited they are about if it's going to be a boy or if it's going to be a girl.
I've seen them, and I've seen a lot of messed up ones.
They're really creative.
Well, I mean, they're creative, but it never ends up. They never end up finding out the way they want to find out.
Yo, I seen one on social media, and they wanted a girl. Like, both of them wanted a girl, but they end up getting a boy. They threw the damn little firework down and everything, like, fuck, and just threw it and walked right out. And the whole family was like, what's going on? They was like, we wanted a girl. Like, that's just
I've seen a lot of. That's the one thing that I like to watch is the facial expressions on one or two of the parents. You can tell like what they want.
Who upset?
Especially the dads. The dads be the ones.
Want a boy.
Yes, man. So what are your best kept secrets about actually saving money? Because you're a mom of 2, so I know saving money, couponing is like one of the biggest things in your household. So like, what are your best kept secrets?
To be honest, I'm not like the best at finding like budgets and not budgets, but like deals and coupons. Like, I have friends who will tell me, and I'm like, oh, well, why hasn't no one ever shared this with me? So they'll share like different places, or they'll share like different. I'm good with like the restaurants, like this kid eats for free on this day type thing. So I could do that. But as far as like clothing, like I have one mom friend two actually. They'll go shopping, either thrifting or like shopping off season, and buy clothes for their kids for like cents, like 92 cents, dollars.
So like right now it's summer, so they're trying to get all the winter stuff out. Yep. So get it now.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Buy before the season comes. Mm-hmm. That's actually a great idea.
And even thrift stores, because you can go and find really great quality things in a thrift store.
Trust me, I'm a thrifter.
Yeah.
Not an adult.
Yeah.
As an adult. So I know.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm not a shopper.
And you're in a great area. Georgetown got some clothes.
See, and I don't shop. I hate shopping.
Oh yeah, I'm one of the same.
I am not a shopper.
One of the same. So what about you, Shango? Like, what are your tips, to parenting as far as like saving $1? Because a lot of millennial moms are out here buying Gucci belts and Jordans and Pradas for shoes that they can't fit in the next 3 months.
Yes.
They literally say it's infant size 3.
Oh.
So why go buy it?
Let me share this one.
They're only going to be 3 months at one time.
Rewards programs. So Chipotle, Starbucks, any place that could give me a reward for like money I've spent, I'm gonna do it. Okay. So like, Papa John's too, like on a good day when we want pizza. Yeah, so I think rewards programs too.
That's actually, especially like for food, because you have boys, so they can eat. I already know that is it. What about you? Do you have some tips for saving?
To be honest, I really don't. But I know, a lot of my family, they have a lot of kids, and some of the stuff that they use, like as far as toys and clothes, it's brand new. So we just pass it down. Like, oh, you need this? Oh, we got it right there.
Especially them strollers and car seats. All those things got to be passed down. Yeah. Listen, they're like $200.
Consignment stores. So there's a kid-to-kid consignment store down where I live, and like you're getting these high-end strollers for near nothing. So I'm all for secondhand.
So not being shy to do that, because some parents don't want to put their child in secondhand because of the diseases and dirty.
You got a
and
washing
like
machine.
That.
You can scrub it with your hands.
Exactly.
You will be okay.
So were you one of those moms? You couldn't touch the babies unless you wash your hand and put a whole doctor's robe on. And
so
all that
my
kind
first
of thing?
one, yes. Okay. My second one, I was like, just put some hand sanitizer on. I don't care.
Okay.
But because they touch so much and you cannot control what they touch, it gets to a point where you're just praying at that point. Like, okay, God, please protect my child. No germs, no sickness, type thing.
Okay. So what about for you? Because both of you guys have duos. So what about for you? Like if you're out and about, and let's say you're eating, and one child wants a Coke and one child wants a Sprite, but you have to get a soda. Like it's just one soda. You're not about to buy 3 sodas. Like at Six Flags or something like that, right? You're not about to buy $16 sodas for each person.
We gonna get this big cup, and you could get 3 straws.
Y'all getting some water,
right? It's free.
Swallow your spit.
I'm so serious.
Y'all doing trauma and triggering right now. You see what I'm saying? That's when we grow up and we got this mental health issues because my mom wouldn't let me get my own Sprite. I want to make my own decisions. You got to give kids decisions and choices nowadays.
I agree.
Because they grow up with these mental health issues.
But we could talk about why we did that. And then my kids get a lot of choices. They make a lot of their own decisions. But sometimes it's like, look.
So, but what if one wants a Sprite and one wants a Coke?
You guys talked about the nutrition with the kids. I feel like we have to catch up to them because now these new babies, they aren't being acclimated to the foods that they're given. So they want more fruits and vegetables and stuff. But anyway, that whole concept, I usually just explain to my kids. All right, twins. So you see how much money I have in my hand, how much cash I have. Look how much that costs compared to what we got right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so you rather want this soda or you rather want this water that's gonna last a little longer and quench your thirst a little bit more. And let's talk about soda. Don't you get a little bit more thirsty when you drink soda
all that sugar
versus water? And they think about it. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get that water.
Okay.
And then we talk about, all right, well, and then we go to Five Below 2, and then get some toys to play with, and we
got more cash.
Yeah, right.
Yep, I like
so
the way you think.
Financial literacy all in one, and a healthy diet. That is you smart.
I like that.
Yes, because my mom, it was me and my sister, and one thing, we had like my sister like, yo, I want the Sprite. I'm like, yo, I want the Coke, and it was like an ongoing argument, at times, because my mom was like, y'all need to just hurry up and pick what y'all want, and we're like, well, we don't know what we want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So speaking of mental health, because that's something that I feel as though is very important. We're coming close to the end of May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I know that kids are dealing with a lot of triggers and a lot of traumas, especially because of their environments, what they see in their everyday lives. Whether they're dealing with home issues or they're dealing with past trauma with school or different things like that. So when it comes to mental health, what are your thoughts about speaking on mental health to kids?
I just want them to, I like to treat my kids or kids in general like they're humans. They have feelings, they have emotions, and I just want them to be aware of them, and let's talk. Like, don't be afraid of coming to either me or someone that you trust to talk about different things. I think that's important, that we don't either limit our kids or make them afraid of us to talk to us. So yeah,
And what about you when it comes down to mental health?
Making sure that they're very open with their emotions, and not judging them, and however it feels. We gotta realize we're the difference between millennials and us. Like we're warriors. We came out the womb fighting.
Yes.
These babies are coming out beautiful and happy and
with cell phones and iPads.
But also their sensitivity to emotions is it's like that's the war that they're going through.
Yes.
We went through the physical war. They're going through mental.
Yes. That's a great point.
That
spiritual warfare,
like heavy. Yeah. So we have to realize there's a difference, and we gotta.
That's a great
adapt
point, because
to it.
We're shifting the culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially from our parents' generation, because we did not want to do exactly what they did. We don't want to work 50 years. We don't want to, sit around and just follow other people's dreams. We want to follow our own dreams. We want to shift the culture as far as what we eat and how we endure each other in different environments. Yep. We actually speak up and be like, yo, you're bothering me right now. I'm not about to just sit here and allow you to bother me. You know what I mean? So it's just different things that we do. Especially as millennials, we're very vocal. We're very boisterous and very vocal. And with the kids under us, they're very technical savvy. You know what I mean? So they're doing a lot of these things such as cyberbullying. We confronted our bullies. They are cyberbullying. They're doing even when it comes down to just suicidal thoughts, like we may have pandered on them, thought about them, but they're actually committing the act, you know what I mean? Because they don't know what else to do. And then you have to think about it, they see it every day. Like, oh, well, Billy did it 2 weeks ago and it worked out for him, so maybe this will work out for me because I don't want to be in this pain anymore either. So I definitely see a shift in culture. So thank you for that point. But when it comes down to mental health, I want us as parents, elders, guardians, whatever it may be, mentors, big sisters, big brothers, is to push past that word, I'm okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're okay how? What does okay even mean? Because you ask a child, like, how was school? It was okay.
And I have to do that with my kids.
How was basketball practice? It was okay.
Yeah.
We have to really push past that word, because a lot of us are settling for the word okay. Like, oh, well, they said it was okay, so I'm going to go about my business. When truly it's like 10 stories that they really want to tell you, but they don't know how to confront you to tell you, so they just say everything is everything. And that's not the truth at all.
That kind of starts with us, though, because adults don't even do that. Yeah. People ask me all the time, hey, how you been? And I literally tell them exactly how I'm doing. I'm crazy right now. Like I just went through a mental. Just went through depression. I just tried to, and they're like, "Dang, I wasn't expecting you to say that." I appreciate that, because I don't normally hear that whole thing. I just say, "Hey, I'm okay, good." But adults do that on a whole nother level, because they do not want to be vulnerable with anybody and don't think that they can relate. But every time you're in front of somebody and you're a reflection of somebody, then you can relate something.
Yes. And that's because of that trauma that our parents put us through, as far as saying, our business is our business. No, hell no. Something is bothering me in this household that my business belongs to. So I need to go outside of this household to tell my business so I can actually have a release and expression. Like, I understand that my business is my business, but if you really want to know how I'm doing, I'm going to let you know how I'm doing. Yeah. Like this weekend, we were at the cookout and my aunt was like, how you doing? I was like, well, aunt, like I'm trying to protect my peace right now. I just came off this flight and I'm going through with my back, my shoulder, my neck. I think I need a massage. I'm trying to sign up for therapy. Like, I really fucked her up. And she was like, damn, you good? I was like, nah, I know that. So yes, I definitely agree with you on that. And what about yourself? Like when it comes down to that situation?
I could be guilty of saying I'm okay. But I think it's just because boundaries maybe, or not wanting to be vulnerable with that person.
Okay. I feel you.
That's totally a thing.
Yeah. I feel you.
So, but definitely I got my tribe, you know. I'll open up and be like, y'all, it's been rough, or you know, I need this, I need that. But yeah, and kind of like with my kids, I've even seen them starting to come to me and talk to me a little more. Like my son was like, yeah, my teacher's being real sensitive. I was like, oh, why? What happened? And he told me this whole story. And I was like, wow. Well, I'm glad you could talk about it. But, you know, sometimes, watch what you kind of say to the teachers. But my youngest one, he's all for it too. Like he will voice.
I'm with that.
He voices to the teachers as well. So I always have to tell thank you for not, understanding my child, because he stands up.
I want my kids to ask as many questions and say whatever's on their mind, but I want them to be respectful in doing that. Exactly. So that's something that as parents we have to teach when it comes to expressing, is making sure that you're being respectful. Yeah. And let me ask you guys this last question. What about like the homosexual lifestyle? Having that conversation with a child and the adolescents, because they see it. It's impossible for them not to see, especially in your city. DC is like abundance, right? So when it comes down to that, like, what do you say? Because some of their classmates have two moms, some of their classmates have two dads. So how do you even have that question, or handle those questions when they come to you?
It's tough.
Okay.
But I just let them know, some people like girls may like girls, boys may like boys, like.
And they just completely understand it from there?
No, probably not so much. But I honestly do not know how to handle the conversation.
Okay, I love that you're being honest. And what about you?
I honestly don't either. But when it comes, I really don't know either. But when it comes, the whole point of expressing outwardly with the kids and making sure that you're being vulnerable with them as well. Then when it comes, you have to be honest with yourself and tell them like, well, this is how I feel. My personal opinion about the situation. If this is the route that you want to go, I still love you. But this is my opinion, and this is how I'm gonna feel. But nothing's gonna change about it. As long as you're happy, then I'm happy.
I would just say, me personally, I would just pretty much say, like, be your authentic self. Like, be who you are, but you better be who you are. Like, I don't know how to explain that even more. Like,
I get that.
Be who you are, but be who you are all at the same time. Yeah. Like, don't switch it up to be part of the trend and be a part of the situation. Definitely go immerse yourself. Be as great as you can possibly be, but be who you are. Like, that's just will be my biggest tip. Yeah. But speaking of tips, you guys have self-care tips. You guys have affirmation and so much more. How can they find the app and everything like that to tune into your podcast?
All right. So you can download the app in the Apple App Store, Mommy Matters Community. You can also get it in the Google Play Store. You can tune into the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, your favorite streaming platform, or you can even get it through the mobile app as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the mobile app so I can download it right now?
What is it?
The mobile app.
Oh, Mommy Matters Community.
Okay, let's get it. You already mentioned that.
I did.
Okay. Mommy Matters Community, man.
Yes,
download it right now.
Yes.
Download it right now. And when does the podcast come out?
So, new episodes comes out on Mondays of every week.
Every week,
yeah.
Okay, and what do you guys, this past Monday, what did you guys drop?
So this past Monday, we have been talking about, talking to our kids about, their body parts, sexuality, porn, lots of different things.
That's big.
So part 1 was about our boys. Part 2 was this past Monday about our girls.
Okay.
And then on Friday, we will have our expert, Dr. Jacqueline Robinson, come in and talk about, how to have those conversations, not make it so awkward. And just some tips, honestly.
Awesome. That's big, definitely, because them girls out there nasty too. We be trying to think it's just the boys, but it be them little nasty girls out there. Yo, and what we need to do is teach our kids how to treat the restroom, like for real. Let me tell you this story, sis. So I just gotta say, like, black women, we have to do better in public restrooms. We all know how we feel about these public restrooms, but we are the ones going into these public restrooms, making them look like this. So let me tell you, I'm at the conference this week in BYOB. Shout out to BYOB for having Revive Radio down there in Atlanta. It was an amazing experience, first and foremost. But so we get there early because media has to be there before anyone either enters the building, so we can set up and get everything together. So we get there around 7:30. The conference doesn't even start until 9. We get there around 7:30. The first thing I'm like, let me go use the bathroom before I start. Bathroom is beautiful. We're in the downtown Atlanta, Hilton, you know what I mean? So you already know it's spectacular. Bathroom is beautiful, gorgeous, full length mirrors. You can check it out, selfies, everything, right? Because I was on it when I first got there. So by 4:45, 5 o'clock.
Oh my God.
It looked like, I'm not even going to do this to my HBCUs, but it looked like a college dorm room bathroom. It looked like we live in this building, we live in this hotel, and we're just going in and out the bathroom. Yo, I mean, hair all in the sink. The mirror where I told you I was taking my selfies at got fingerprints all over it, toilet paper all over the floor, piss all over the seats. I'm like, yo, and no one's in this building but black people because it was a conference for us.
Yeah.
Yo, I was extremely pissed off. Yeah. By 7:30, bathroom is beautiful, gorgeous. By 4 p.m., the bathroom is trifling. You don't want to even wash your hands because there's weave all in the sink and everything. We have to teach our kids better.
Yes,
when it comes down to taking like, come on, like even when it comes down to putting the toiletries into the actual dispensary, like I know you don't want to touch it and put it all in there, but we got to put it in because nobody want to see that when we come behind you.
I don't know why though. Like I don't know why, because I don't even want to say it's how they were raised, but how were you raised? Because I clean up, like I'm guilty of it too. Like not guilty of leaving a mess, but I will go in and I'm like, okay, I gotta pee, so I will clean up somebody else's piss, and I'm disgusted. But it's like, clean up after yourself.
Yes. And if you're going to wear the weaves and the wig, please just don't do it at the sink. Like, stand back from the sink, because other people really want to wash their hands without your hair in the sink. Like, it really bothers me.
I just had a conversation with someone about that. He was actually cleaning. He was the person to clean the bathrooms and stuff, and he was like, yo.
That's all my custodians.
He was like, yo, the women's bathroom was the worst. Yes. I'm like, really? I was like, he's like, he actually quit his job.
It was disgusting.
It's
like,
real.
Me and my sister was like, yo, I'd rather use a men's bathroom.
I do that a lot. Especially that they gave the power, unisex bathrooms. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's a wrap. Now I can close the door behind me because you guys only stand up to go. You know what I mean? And y'all barely wash your hands if we being transparent. Right. So I'm just saying, like, so when it was just a big mess, and something that I really need to bring up. Like, we need to do better. And the best part about it is we could not blame anyone else for this because it was only us in the building at that time. So I was like, yo, we got to do better. But with that being said, Shango, tell the people how they can find you, how they can stay locked. Tell them how they need to catch you, you know what I'm saying, all the views in LA next week.
You can check me out on Instagram, DJ_Shango788, or you could just Google me, DJ Shango. And I have an upcoming event June 8th at Dalak 4708 Baltimore Avenue. Every second Saturday I am in West Philly. Free to get in, hookah vibes, and it's all me all night.
Already, man. Yes, catch him, man. He has a lot of things coming up this summer as well, so definitely stay locked to the timeline. I'm gonna make sure he gets better at his social media marketing, so people know where he at. You know what I'm saying? Not the day of, at least a week before, so we know how we can get there.
He likes to pop up.
Yes. And once again, I know you already told him, but tell him how they can find you, how they can stay locked, because I really encourage you all to definitely check out our podcast. Download the app first and foremost. It's very hard to find black app owners. You know what I mean? Not people just leasing their app, but actually owning their own app. So I truly appreciate that. So, and also, like, I want to talk to you about how we can get some apps too. Like, how you even did that. That's really big.
Actually, I have a question about that.
So definitely tell them how I can find you, and definitely download the app.
Yes, so make sure you download the app in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Mommy Matters community. You can keep in touch with me personally on Instagram _Antonia Michaela. You can follow us on Instagram, Mommy Matters. And also, if you are a mom in business or a mom, just doing it. I want to build a list of like a directory of moms. So pretty much looking for moms to add to this directory so other moms could either support you, reach out to you. Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Let's create that tribe like she said at the beginning of the show, man. You already know what time it is. I appreciate you, Antonia, for coming through and blessing the airways, making that trip for us as well. Because what you're doing is really, really big, and I'm definitely trying to follow and support you throughout this journey. You already know what time it is, man. Revive is alive 365, 24/7 a.m. to the p.m. We'll be going to the State of the Union tonight, so we won't be live broadcasting. We'll be up there with Roland Martin, man. He's calling a town hall meeting tonight here in West Philadelphia, man. I encourage all you guys, if you are a community member, if you are a person who lives in West Philadelphia, please be at this town hall meeting. This is going to be something that's for you and about you. Everything is a FUBU effect, especially with us here at Revive Radio. Revive is alive, Revive is alive, ReviveIsAlive.com. Turn your radios up, spread the word, spread the message. Let's get it. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. getting this good morning mix. Why waste time? The time is now. Become a guest on our radio show. Revive Radio goes live 6 days a week with 7 jam-packed shows, and we want to hear from you. Hit us up right now, revive.poc@gmail.com.
Antonia, I'm a podcast host of Mommy Matters, The Wind Down, and mobile app creator, and I need you to tune in to Revive Radio.